I look very moist today. Should I just have that as the intro? Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye, and today I am showing you guys my makeup inventory. Now, the last couple of years that I've done my makeup inventory, I've shown you guys pictures of my collection and just spoke about it. However, this time I'm taking a page out of Kat Revell's book, and I wanted to do this overhead style. I will link Kat's video down below because I loved how she did it. She just laid out all of her collection, category by category, and you can actually see like how many that she had. So yes, this video style is completely inspired by Kat. Now I will be doing updates at the 6-month mark and at the end of the year. And the reason why this makeup inventory is coming so late is because my birthday's in February and I wanted to make sure that like my collection was somewhat stable before I did this video. That being said, I am waiting on a few things, but I thought I didn't want to wait. Also, I just want to put a disclaimer that I have dyscalculia. I cannot comprehend or read or count numbers. It just does not work for me. So if I do count something wrong, which I most likely did, please kindly correct me in the comments. Please be kind. Because I am very insecure about counting and that sort of thing and anything math related. I just barely passed math in school. So yeah, please be kind to me on that. And anyways, let's get on into the makeup inventory. Okay, so we are sitting on my floor right now and I do have a blanket right here just because if I just showed you everything on the floor, there'd be a lot of cat hair. Also, I want to mention that as we go through the categories, I will be logging everything in my bullet journal so we can actually have proper numbers. So yeah, first category is primer. Now I have one. Now when it comes to face primer, I just like having one. I don't like having multiples. I tend to use one primer until it's finished and then move on to the next. However, that being said, I do own the Auric Glow Lust, which I have no idea if I should categorize this as a primer or foundation because this isn't a foundation, but the way that I use this is kind of a foundation type product. So we have one face primer. Also, I do have a section where I have my goals of my collection, and I think face primer, I'm just gonna keep it as one because I just like having one at a time. Foundation, I have two. This right here is a tinted moisturizer, and this, like I mentioned earlier, is the Auric Glow Lust, which I technically use as a foundation. I don't wear foundation. I don't like the way it looks on my skin. I much prefer just bare face with concealer or using a tinted moisturizer like this one. But I thought calling the category foundation would just make things easier. So in this category I have two, and I think my goal is to keep it at two. I won't be repurchasing the Colourpop Pretty Fresh as much as I love it. I'm actually like getting down there. I'm almost finished. I will be replacing this with the Lip Bar Tinted Moisturizer. I really want to try that one. Now for concealer, I have two as well. I like things in pairs. This one is my all-time favorite concealer. This is the Oma Beauty Stay Woke. I love this one. This is actually my second tube, and this is the Glossier Stretch. I've almost finished this one, and I still want my concealer collection to be very pared back and minimal, so I think my goal is to just have two again. I like having things in twos. You'll see that as a trend with a lot of my products in my collection. Next is face powder, and I have two yet again. This one actually is the medium shade of the Nabla close-up powder, but I have repressed this not well at all. So it's almost like a loose powder now, but I don't want to open up the compact because it's just gonna be a mess. And this one is the exact same powder, but in the light shade. I don't think you can see on camera, but I've got a really big dip in it. I love this pressed powder. It is fantastic. And again, I'd probably like to keep this category just down to one or two. Since I do have oily skin, I do go through powder quite quickly, so having two on deck is good for me. Now bronzer, again. Are we surprised? I just own two bronzers. This is the Becca Bali Sands bronzer. This is actually my second one because I love this bronzer. And this is the Kaleidos Charisma Contour Palette. I know my friends that love panning will love to see the pan that I have on this one. Both of these bronzers are fantastic. This one's a glowy one, this one's a matte one, and I think they serve a purpose in my collection, and I like to keep it down to two. Now we're moving on to blush, and this category is a lot bigger than the ones that I've previously shown you. So let me just open everything up for you. I do apologize that the lighting is a bit off, but I'm going to be counting these as individual pans. I will say that this shade right here is not a blush shade on me. This is a highlighter shade, so I will be counting it as a highlight shade. But blush-wise, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blushes. I don't think 11 is that bad because I fucking love blush. It's one of my favorite things in makeup. I used to be a blush hater, but now I've reformed. If you're curious, my favorite blush formula is the lethal blushes. As you can see, mine are very destroyed. I am a monster when it comes to my makeup. And out of the 11 blushes, I have 2 creams and the rest are powder. I think my goal for this collection, I do see it growing because my love for blush is ever growing. However, I want to keep this category under 15. I can see myself getting a couple more blushes throughout the year, but under 15 is the goal. But I think in my bullet journal, I'll write down that my goal is 13. Now we're moving on to highlighter. Now, I have a lot of highlighter. Let me just bring everything out for you. I will also be including the blush duo, but just counting the highlight shade. I'll zoom you out a little bit, but these are all of my highlighters. I'll open them up for you. This is by far the most chaotic flat lay I've ever seen of highlighters, but highlighter pans, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And with that, all of these are powder except for this one right here. This is a cream. And full disclaimer, I was sent all of the Kaleidos highlighters except for the Prophecy one. The rest of them have been sent to me in PR, so I didn't purchase the majority of my highlighter collection. However, I love it. I love my highlighter collection. As you can see, I love colourful highlighters especially. And I mean, my favourite highlighter in my collection, in case you're curious, is Kaleidos Skywalker. I mean, look at that pan. If you're ever thinking of buying a sparkly blue highlighter, I highly recommend this one. Also, let me know if you'd like to see me do a video on the Kaleidos highlighters because I have almost all of them except for the reformulated Mars Melter. But yeah, 17 is a lot. I don't want to buy any more highlighter. I want to keep it under 17. And I think I don't want to purchase any highlighters this year. I feel no need. I've got everything covered. So I think 17 is like the absolute maximum for me. But I think my goal by the end of the year is for this collection to go down to 15. Now we're moving on to brow products, and I have one. This right here is my only brow product. This is the Brow Divine by Nabla. I have had this pencil for I think over a year, almost 2 years. I don't run through brow pencils that often. However, I can see this collection growing a little bit. I want 2 brow products because I like having one brow pencil and 1 brow gel. And currently I'm out of my brow gel and I really want to purchase the Oma Beauty brow gel. However, my shade has been sold out for a while. But just know that my goal for this is to have 2. Also, I am dumb. I just realized my primer collection is technically 2. I forgot to count this Makeup Revolution setting spray, conceal and define infinite mattifying priming water is what this is called. I had this next to my setting spray, so that's why I didn't count it, but I technically do have 2 face primers, but I would like this to go down to just 1. Next category is eye primer, and I have 3. I have the NYX Glitter Primer, which is almost finished. I have the Kaleidos Tone Activating Eye Primer. And I have my Holy Grail, which is the Milani eyeshadow primer. I want to get this collection down to just 2 because these 2 are my all-time favorites, although I need to find an alternative to the NYX glitter glue because NYX are doing some shady things. And the Kaleidos one, I do like it, but it's not my favorite, but I do want to use this up. Mascara, I have 2. This is the Glossier Lash Slick. This isn't my favorite mascara. I do use it to coat my lashes before I put on false lashes. It's good for that purpose, but it's not my favorite. And I'm currently testing out the Nabla Major Pleasure mascara. I can see this collection staying at 2. Normally, I like to have just 1 mascara open and then have another one as a backup. So once I finish the Glossier, I'll probably buy a backup of another mascara but not open it until I've finished this one. Alright, false lashes. I only recently got into false lashes like last year. but I've quickly fallen in love with them. I fucking love wearing lashes. I don't wear them every day, but I do like them a lot. You're not really going to be able to see them, but I have 6 pairs of lashes, and I can see this staying at around 5 or 6. I do like the variety. I actually repurchased this pair because this is one of my favorite pairs. This is Wiki Lashes Live. Live, Bella, and November are my favorite lashes of all time. And also, in case you can't tell, all of my lashes are from Wiki Lashes. They are a UK-based indie brand, and I fucking love their lashes. I'm quite happy with how my makeup collection is, not gonna lie. A lot of these categories I don't really want to change that much. Next category is glitter, and I have 4. I went through a phase of being obsessed and in love with the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liners, which are what all of these are. My favorite being the shade Distortion. This is fucking gorgeous. But I'm gonna be honest with myself, I don't use these that often. Not anymore, at least. So I can see this collection going down to 2. I want to half it by the end of the year. Because as much as I love these don't get enough love in my collection, and what's the point of keeping products and buying more products that you don't really use much of? The next category are loose pigments, and I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 loose pigments right here, and I want to whittle this down to just 4. These ones are from the Pastel Roses, and these ones are the Kathleen Lights X Colourpop Zodiac loose pigments. And again, I don't use loose pigments that often. However, the Pastel Roses, they sell these 3. These are the flaky loose pigments. They are also a UK-based indie brand, and these flaky ones are incredible, especially this shade right here, Andromeda. Andromeda is my favorite because it's like iridescent flaky shades, and Andromeda is one of my friends' names, so naturally it's a favorite. I love the flaky loose pigments. They are my favorite. The loose ones that are just like pretty sparkly eyeshadows, they don't really call to me, but I don't really want to let go of them just yet. Okay, I've pulled out all of my eyeshadows and palettes, so let's start off with single shadows first. Okay, so these are all of my single eyeshadows. This is going to be a motherfucker to count. I will actually start crying if I've miscounted that, but I have 81 single shadows. It doesn't look like that much when I'm looking at it right here, but that's a lot of singles. Now this year, I have mentioned in my low buy video, my intro, that I do want to focus on buying single shadows this year instead of buying palettes. I don't know if you can tell, but I use singles a shitload. I love to use multiple palettes in my looks, like that's how I normally do my makeup, and I love using singles including. So as we can see, like for an example, my Sugar Pill Pro palette, I have 3 pans in these, and this one is getting there as well. This one, I have pan in Vertex right there, and this palette right here is my Pride and Joy. I have 4 pans in my Divina Sugar Drops shadows, soon to be 5. This palette is my holy grail in my collection. It houses all my Divina Sugar Drops, my Cleona, and my Glam Shop and Brnovich. Yes, this category is quite large, I have to admit, but I can see this growing to maybe 100. And I must admit that I do have 2 single shadow orders on my way to me. I have 4 from Enchanted Luster Cosmetics on my way to me, and I have some Terra Moons as well. I've got 6 of those, but I'm not going to be counting those in this total right now. I'll probably include them in my like 6-month check-in, because I just want to count the things that I have physically with me right now. I love my single shadow collection, and I can see this growing definitely. I definitely have my eye on some more Glam Shop shadows because those are quickly one of my favorites, and some more Cleona. By the way, in case you're curious, I will be doing a tour of my single shadows where I will be putting them in their different color families and swatching them for you guys, but that video's not gonna come for a long time until I get my Terra Moons and Enchanted Luster. But until then, this is my collection. Okay, eyeshadow palettes. This is probably the part that you've all been waiting for, let's be honest. I'm gonna zoom you out quite a bit so we can try and fit everything in. I'm not gonna do that thing where I open them all up for you because I feel like that's gonna make this video even longer and my back hurts. However, I will be doing an in-depth eyeshadow palette collection video where I talk about all of my palettes, open them up and show you guys and talk about them, but that's not gonna come for a while. Also a disclaimer, I am waiting on 2 palettes. One of them is the Shroud It's Frickin' Bats palette, and Lord knows when that's gonna be arriving. And the second one is a secret. I don't want to tell you just yet, but it's very exciting. But yeah, let's put everything out. Some of these might be out of frame, but you can still see the name of the palette, so let's do this. Now, if my math is correct, I have 31 eyeshadow palettes. That does not include the 2 palettes that I am currently waiting on, but holy shit. This is the most amount of eyeshadow palettes that I've ever owned in my entire life, and 31 is a lot. I will admit, that is a lot. It's still manageable, and I am doing Shop My Stashes, and I'm doing the palette series and all of that stuff. I think 31 is a lot of palettes. I think my absolute limit will be 35. However, 30 would be the goal. And of course, some may argue that this palette right here, this is a Lethal Cosmetics palette. This is the After Dark palette. A lot of people may argue that this is actually a singles palette, but I treat this palette as a pre-made palette like the rest of these. But yes, keep an eye out for my eyeshadow palette collection video. That will be coming up as soon as I get my Shroud palette in the mail. Although I might do it before then. We'll see. I might do my eyeshadow palette video before my Shroud palette comes, because honestly, I don't think I can wait, and I don't think you guys want to wait for me to have that palette before I show you my collection, because the other palette that I'm waiting on should be arriving very soon. Now, next category is eyeliner. So I have all my wet liners, and then I have my pencil liners. So let's organize this, shall we? Now, I love eyeliner a lot. As we can see, most of them are colourful, and a large majority of them are my wet liners. These wet liners are my favourites to use. Like, I can never go back to liquid liner after using wet liners and these cake liners. These work so well. I am planning on doing a graphic liner 101 video where I kind of give you guys some tips on how to do fun graphic liner with both wet liners, pencil liners, gel, eyeshadow, all of that. I don't know if this is going to be possible this year, but I do want to at least finish up almost all of my ColourPop gel liners, because as much as I love these, I don't support ColourPop anymore and I just want to get something better. And I have 2 LA Girl liners. This is the Neon Shockwave liner, and this is the Pastel Dream one, the white one, Marshmallow. This is in the shade Gotcha. These are just as good as the ColourPop ones, and they are cheaper. So I think once I finish a bunch of these, I will replace them with the LA Girl ones, because these ones are fantastic. So I can see this category maybe staying the same, maybe going down to 30. However, I do want to buy some more cake liners as well, because there's a few colours that I'm missing. I'm missing a traditional yellow, because I have a pastel yellow and I have a neon yellow, but I don't have like a sunflower yellow, which is something that I really need. I also want to get a teal liner just to like fill in some gaps, but I think overall, maybe I have 33. I can see myself going to 35. Gonna be realistic, because I know that I'll be replacing these at some point when I use them up or if they dry out, and I will be adding some more to this collection, so we'll see how it goes. I'll write down my goal as 35 though. We're almost done. Now we're moving on to liquid lipsticks. Okay, so these are all of my liquid lipsticks. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11. Wow. Not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting the number to be this small, because I love liquid lipsticks. I adore them. They're one of my favorite like lip formulas. However, recently I've been kind of gravitating towards more glosses and bullet lipsticks, because I've been getting more into those as well. But I have basically all my bases. I have cool toned neutrals, warm toned neutral, a plum, a grey, a mustard color, a like warm brown, a dark chocolate brown, a bright red, and a black. So I'm pretty happy with 11. Maybe I could whittle it down to 10, maybe, but 11 seems pretty good to me. Okay, we are moving on to bullet lipsticks. I store all of my bullet lips in this container, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bullet lipsticks. I do like this amount. This is nice. I do have variety in here. These 3 are from Linda Hellberg and they're the glossy sticks. They're basically like lip balm, lip gloss hybrids. They're really nice. I really do like these. I used to have another one, but I completely finished it up. The Odin's Eye bullet lipsticks are probably my favorite. I have 1 cream and 1 velvet. This one is from Lethal Cosmetics. This is the shade Quest. I think if I had to say my favorite bullet lipstick formulas, it would be Odin's Eye and Lethal. Although I do have one from Black Moon right here, which I really do like. It's one of their Sinister Satins. But I will write my goal as 10. Even though I want to keep it 10 and under. Okay, I have a lot of gloss, and can we tell what my favorite formula is? Actually, it's kind of hard to say because I love all of these glosses equally now. I do love these Fenty ones. These are so nice. These minis right here are from the 2 Gloss Bomb holiday sets that they've had the past couple of years. And you may be wondering, why is there a napkin on here? My glass slipper from Fenty, is this called glass slipper? Yes, it is. This one leaks, like the packaging is faulty or something, like it keeps leaking, even though I store it upright with like away from the rest of my glosses, the packaging still leaks and it gets all sticky and nasty, which is really unfortunate because it's a beautiful clear gloss. But yeah, I don't want to get gloss on this blanket. I also have 2 of the Odin's Eye cream lip stains. I adore these. I think Little Jasmine, you've heard me like ramble on about this shade for a long time. This is my favorite, like #1 lip product in my collection. I also have a Lethal one and I have 2 from Kaleidos. This one hypnotizes close to being finished too. And I do love the Kaleidos gloss formula. I do want to get more shades. But anyways, numbers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm quite satisfied with the amount of glosses that I have. I can see myself purchasing more of the Kaleidos ones specifically because I really love this formula. It's very thin and really hydrating. All of these are very hydrating. I can also see myself finishing up this one, maybe a couple of others. I do want to keep this category under 20. Under 20 is manageable for me. The final category is setting spray, and I have a whopping 1. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, my holy grail. I am almost finished this. I think this is my 3rd or 4th bottle of the stuff. The only setting spray that I will ever use, and the one that I swear by. I love this stuff. I will keep my goal as just 1. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing my makeup inventory, and let me know what are your makeup inventory numbers. Let me know. All details of this makeup look should already be on Instagram, which is beautyybyskye right here. Do follow me in there if you want to see more makeup content from me. And as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.